like to welcome everyone to a very special premiere edition of Active Voices here on Age of the Nerd, and we're very fortunate, as you have just seen, you have just sat through the premiere episode of Season 3 for Graves. You've been reading about Graves in our coverage on 7-Minute Takes leading up through this summer, and hopefully you've had a chance to catch up with Seasons 1 and 2. Season 3 is here, live and exclusive here on Age of the Nerd, so we appreciate you checking it out. And even more special, we are going to sit down with two of the creatives from Graves, Christine Nyland, who is one of the producers of the show, and Terence, Krey, who's one of the filmmakers behind the scenes here, where they're joining us for a very special premiere, Season 3 premiere debrief and talk about. Christine and Terence, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us. It's
been interesting. Season 3 is hit. The premiere is out, and unfortunately, as been discussed, this is going to be the final season of Graves. And so, with the premiere, people have gotten their teeth into some of the upcoming aspects of the show, but want to kind of back it up a little bit for folks who might be just binge watching it at this moment. How did Graves come together? How did the first two seasons come together? And what have your guys' impressions been of this time doing this web series? Christine, how did you get involved in? And what do you think about how things have been going these last two seasons going into Season 3?
I initially got involved as an actor. I had seen a breakdown for the role of Jane, and I submitted for that. And then over the course of Season 1 and post for Season 1, got more involved in production. You were really integral in the first season, obviously as the lead, but also you really enjoyed the show, and that forced me to realize that I need you to help more, because the show ended up becoming kind of ballooning into this crazy thing that I needed to force you to help me out and produce it. But for me, I created the show now 3 years ago, and it was a little bit of me kind of wanting to lean into something that was a little bit, kind of horror comedy, a little bit zany, a little bit Buffy the Vampire Slayer, also kind of leaning into something that was lo-fi, something that, we could have these ridiculous effects and demons, and since we have it in this kind of VHS kind of framework, it all helps kind of sell this mood and this tone. And then that plus just kind of an energy of myself turning 30, and and that's kind of such a big part of Jane's arc, and her getting to this kind of milestone in her life, and kind of taking stock of the demons that haunt her. And it was just kind of an amalgam of I wanted to do something zany and horror and kind of nostalgic, but kind of dealing with how we live our lives right now.
Yeah, in that terms, you mentioned the arc of Jane, and over the 3 seasons, there's, a lot thrown at her would be a mild way of putting it. And it does kind of play out as a bit of a metaphor or a analogy about how we leave certain things behind and we take certain things with us when we go into certain parts of our life. And in terms of that, with Season 3 upcoming, and again, hopefully everyone's had a chance to check out the premiere for Season 3 that accompanies this interview. How do you feel that that's going to resolve, or does it, or can we get, without being spoilery, can we see how this really traumatic arc is going to progress? Christine?
I think something that is nice about what we've been able to do with this season is sort of explore the way that, yes, sometimes the trials we go through in our lives linger, but also sometimes they're really formative and they push us into becoming who we ultimately end up being.
Yeah, I think
Well, and in a certain fashion, it's moving past has been unique, especially with Ashtaroth and all the other kind of landmines that have laid for her. As was mentioned with the preview that we did the other week, this has been called by such venues as AV Club as a mumblecore mashup of Spaced and Buffy. It was, of course, nominated for Best Indie Series at the 2017 Streamy Awards. What's it been like seeing the response to the series over the last couple seasons? I mean, it certainly seems like a labor of love and maybe something that's kind of intently personal, but must be kind of gratifying to see that there's been just this fan base that's built.
Yeah, I feel like it very much started from a place of, for me, I've always been in shock that people have connected with the show the way they have, because I've always attacked this show in particular as just kind of unfiltered, like just, not really thinking so much for an audience and more just thinking for serving the characters, but also what's the most kind of manic, gothic, weird, Halloween store horror I can throw in here, right? And there's a skeleton dressed up as a cowboy in the season, just to give you an example, just kind of just this unfiltered thing, and then we have puppets, and there's this kind of these weird demon realms and stuff like that. So I think that it's been really nice for me to feel that people are really enjoying the two sides of it, right? They're really enjoying that aspect of it and the zaniness, and I think it does unlock some type of 90s, yes, Buffy, but also 90s. Someone did say it feels like Halloween store horror, and I really did love that. So to see people really connecting with that, and then also just for the human characters, I don't think we ever sell any of them short. I think we're really on top of making sure that they feel, even in the face of absurdity, they feel real, and they feel like they're reacting to things, and they feel like they're on these nice, dramatic dramedy arcs. I don't know if you have anything more eloquent to say than that.
No, I thought that was well said.
Christine, what's been the most interesting response to the series that you've experienced?
The thing that actually stands out, right, is I'm an actor, so we're all always constantly working on projects, and it's hard to keep up with projects your friends are doing. And I've had on multiple occasions over the past 3 years people reach out to me out of the blue and be like, I really watched that thing you're doing. It's really good. People subscribe by it when they finally get around to looking at it.
Well, that's a pleasant way to go, indeed.
Any web series.
Right, everyone's you're making a web series. Great, I'll check it out. Sure.
Well, see, you've got them because, like I said, having gotten more immersed in the world myself in prep for both the season premiere and the interview, I think there's a lot that you want to discover. I must admit, I was a late comer, but I've been highly impressed and kind of sad to hear the news that this will be the end. And if we can, maybe you can give us some nuggets for what we might be experiencing upcoming here in season 3.
Well, I already said that there's a skeleton dressed as a cowboy. That's the big one.
Can't beat that, yeah.
I think what I'll say is that it is, it's definitive. I think it is a definitive ending. I think it comes more now the more that I've kind of lived with this last season. I think it lives right at the right moment. I think it comes right at the right moment. We're not staying our welcome for too long. And it feels complete. It feels hopeful. I don't know. What would you?
I think we do justice to all of the character arcs for one thing. I can't think of anyone who you're sort of left wanting more. Everything gets concluded. I think in a way that intersects nicely.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So we get some definitive ending, perhaps some redemption, and a skeleton dressed as a cowboy. So
It's pretty good. That's a good three.
If you can't wait already for next Sunday, you should be on the edge of your seat again. Graves season 3, the final season, has 8 episodes out every Sunday, starting with the premiere episode, which was out on the 17th. So you should be sitting ready to go. Get ready. Make sure you subscribe. Vimeo, YouTube, wherever web series are found. And before we sign off and let people get a little bit more into the world of Graves, what's next for you guys? What does life after Graves season 3 look like for Christine and Terence?
I will let my.
I was going to.
I'll let you pitch because you're great at it.
We're working on a new feature, and it's sort of standing in this place of Graves being over. We sort of looked at it and we're like, okay, if that feels complete, then what's next? And we wanted to do something that was a little more straightforward, a little more witchy. So we're working on a feature called Maiden. We've been crowdfunding on Seed and Spark. We're actually currently finalists in their Communal Nightmares Rally, so that's very exciting. And you can follow us on Seed and Spark if you want updates on the project.
Wonderful. And in that mindset, too, how do people find out more about each one of yours work, and how can they connect with you either on social media or in any other forum?
We are both on Twitter. Also, the Graves Twitter we run as well, so you can connect with us either through the Graves web series Twitter or through our personal Twitters. And yeah, that's pretty fun.
Well, like you've heard it here, you've seen the premiere of season 3. Make sure you keep checking in at 7-Minute Takes for the weekly updates about Graves season 3. And make sure that you hustle up and get caught up if you haven't had a chance already. Christine, Terence, thank you so much for this time to sit down and talk about Graves season 3. We wish you the greatest success with the final season, and hope to catch up with you down the line when everything else is ready to go.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We've been very fortunate to have Christine Nyland and Terence Krey sit down with us and talk about Graves season 3. Make sure you got caught up on the first 2 seasons of Graves, and be back here next week. This again is your host, Jason Malcolm Stewart. We appreciate you checking out all things indie pop culture here on Age of the Nerd and Active Voices, and I'll catch you on the flip side.
Age of the Nerd video.